Hello everybody, I'm Zach the Movie Fan, and let's just get this over with. So we're so Amazon's War of the Worlds movie, or War of the Worlds starring Ice Cube, or whatever the hell you want to call it. This movie has blown up ever since it randomly just was dropped on Amazon Prime. Apparently, people are actually calling this not only the worst movie of the year, but the worst film of all time. People even going as far as to call it the worst film they've ever seen. And considering that I'm making a list of the worst films of this year, well, I kind of have to talk about it, so here we go. Let me get this out of there right now. I don't know shit about War of the Worlds. I know it's an alien invasion story, and that the aliens attack people in these giant robots called tripods. I also, and I know that the great Orson Welles did a news radio broadcast that literally scared the entire nation back in the day. And that is it. That is all I know about War of the Worlds. So if you're expecting someone who is well versed with this story to take a look at this film, sorry, I'm just not your guy, unfortunately. I have no real attachment to War of the Worlds or any real feelings towards it. I'm just here to review a movie that everyone says is really, really bad. So let's go. So, Amazon's War of the Worlds tells the story of a man named William Radford, played by Ice Cube. We'll get into that. He's a tech guy working for Homeland Security, who while trying to take down a mysterious hacker named Disruptor, or as I like to call him, Diet Anonymous. While he tries to do that, though, suddenly aliens attack in these giant robot mech things called tripods, and it's a War of the Worlds. And our main character, instead of getting involved, just decides to pretty much do what I'm doing, just sit at a screen. Except he hacks into stuff to really view what's going on. Sorry, I hate when that happens, when I feel like I have to sneeze, but I don't. Oh, I hate that. Sorry. Alright. So, this is the one thing that everyone has talked about, really. The way the film is done. Well, at least when it doesn't come to Ice Cube's acting. At least. But whatever. This movie is filmed in a style that I believe is called screen save or screen life or whatever. Basically, it's kind of like a modern take on found footage, where the whole thing is from the perspective of a computer screen. And a lot of people are actually, and I'm sure there are a lot of people looking at this new War of the Worlds film, War of the Worlds movie, and being like, this style does not work and should burn in hell. But no, this style can be done well, and I can prove it. There have actually been some films that have tried this style before. Good examples are films like Host, Host, and the most well-known, the movie Searching, as well as its sequel, Missing. These three movies also are from the perspective of a computer screen throughout the entire thing. The big difference, however, is that these films are good. Host was a pretty solid horror film that did a unique idea. What if a bunch of people did a seance that went wrong over a Zoom meeting? It was an interesting concept, and it led to a scary as hell. And even if you didn't find it scary, it was a fun horror experience. Searching was a really solid mystery film. Searching was a really solid mystery film about a father trying to find his missing daughter, and tries to get clues by looking through her laptop, only to find that she had kept a bunch of secrets that he did not know about. The sequel, Missing, did a very similar premise, but this time the child being the main character, and the parent needing to be rescued. All three of these movies did this style in a good way. But a lot of the reason, like, this style can work. It's just that War of the Worlds is a supremely bad example on how to do it. It's very similar to found footage in many respects. A lot of people say that found footage is just a garbage genre that just releases nothing but trash. And obviously that is not true. Yes, there were a lot of found footage horror films that were utter garbage, like the Paranormal Activity series, Apollo 18, Grave Encounters. No offense to anyone who enjoys those movies, but more importantly, Screen-like, or whatever this new style is. Found footage can work effectively if you have someone behind the reins. I mean, look at the VHS movies. Minus Viral. VHS Viral does not exist. Like, if you look at the VHS movies, those are really solid examples on how to do an effective horror film in a found footage horror style. Even films like the Blair Witch Project, as well as the 2016 film. I'm not gonna act like I love those movies, but I don't hate them either. I may explain why someday, because, well, one of these days I'm going to be looking at Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2, so. But anyway, but yeah, the reason why I'm telling you all of this is because I want to set the record straight. Just because this new War of the Worlds movie does this style very poorly, that doesn't mean that this style can't work at all. Just try to keep a more open mind to this style and check out Searching, Missing, and Host as good examples on how to do a film in this style. Now let's get into why it doesn't work for this film. But okay, I'm a fair guy. Let's get into the positives. There isn't a lot, to be honest. And honestly, the one positive I have isn't even really a positive. This is definitely one of those movies where there are moments where it's so bad, it's legitimately funny. Ice Cube's, from the awful acting, especially from our main lead played by Ice Cube, to the garbage special effects that look like the kind of shit that would appear in an Asylum movie. Seriously, how the fuck did this thing have a $65 million budget? This movie and Food Fight should start a club on how to waste money on a big budget film. But yeah, And that's not even getting to the ridiculous Amazon product placement and how fucking shameless it is. Ugh. It's like, yeah, there are moments in this movie where it is so bad it's good. That is literally the only positive I can give. Everything else in this movie is utter garbage. Honestly, what can I say about this movie that everyone online hasn't already said? The acting is awful, especially from our main lead. I will admit straight up, I have never seen, any other movie starring Ice Cube. So I don't know if this guy is a decent actor or not. I hear a lot of people say he's good in Friday, but I've never seen that film. So maybe it's the direction at fault. I mean, this is by a first-time director, so that is very much possible. But his acting in this is bad. Really bad. Whenever whenever he tries to act panicked or worried, like he's reacting, but not in a way that feels appropriate. It actually kind of reminds me a bit of Ethan Winters from Resident Evil 7, except I think that's just an insult to Ethan Winters as a character. Say whatever you want about Ethan Winters, but at least he's not a creepy stalker. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Ice Cube's character Will, he likes to hack into stuff to spy on his family, in particular his pregnant daughter Faith. Cause that's a character I want to follow. A fucking creep that hacks into shit and stalks his daughter and his son. I get what they're going for here. They're going for the overprotective, overbearing father. But, one, I am so sick to fucking death of this trope. Not saying that it can't be done well. Stoic the Vast from How to Train Your Dragons is a great example on how to do a character like this right. But the reason why Stoic works is because, while Stoic could be a bit of a jerk, you could always tell it was just because he cared so much for Hiccup. And he had moments of actual humanity to him. William Radford in War of the Worlds is the worst example of this character trope. He doesn't, even when they reveal that his wife passed away due to a disease, you don't feel any sympathy for him at all. Especially because his children aren't even kids anymore. They're in their 20s and have jobs. Hell, we find out Faith is a biologist, making Will's creepy stalking all the more unreasonable. Hang on, I just need a drink of water. My bad. Sorry about that. But yeah, on top of that, whenever Ice Cube has to react to anything, it's never an appropriate reaction. It's so weird. There are scenes of like the military like shooting down these aliens, and he's reacting to it like his favorite football team just won the Super Bowl. It's just not an appropriate reaction, and it's so not fitting. Again, I don't know if it's the direction at fault, or if Ice Cube was just not a good fit for a War of the Worlds movie or something, but brother, it did not work here. I mean, all the other actors aren't that great either, but god damn, they're at least trying a little bit harder than fucking Ice Cube is. I actually feel bad for everyone in this movie. Like they must have signed on to this because it sounded like a really good paycheck or something. I don't know. Like, I actually wonder if Ice Cube, as well as Eva Longoria, yeah, she's in this movie too, I actually wonder if these two in particular were in this movie because they want to try and get their careers back up off the ground, especially after having not been in anything in recent years. And you know what? That there's nothing wrong with that, but oh God, was this not the right pick. It reminds me, kind of like how John Travolta tried to get back into acting by starring in Fred Durst's The Fanatic. Oh, one of these days I'm gonna rip that movie a new one. But, but yeah, like everybody else. I mean, everybody else is acting in the film. They're not great, but they're like, fuck, man, they're at least trying. I don't know what the fuck Ice Cube was doing in this. He just feels so lost. I wouldn't be surprised if like the script just said, Ice Cube, just be yourself but a computer hacker and just have that be it. But yeah. And because this whole thing is shot from a computer screen, like, you never really feel the suspense and tension of what's really going on. I mean, like, the movie doesn't give you a lot of time to get to know these characters very well or really connect to them at all. Whenever they're in a life or death situation, you don't give a shit really. Cause they don't give you a reason to care about any of these characters. Like, mm, like, um, what also doesn't help either is the fact that like most of the is the fact that like this movie barely kills off any characters in the film. I think there's only one character that dies, and it's a random woman who's with the FBI. She gets killed by one of the tripods, and that's it. Like, what was even the point? We barely knew this woman. Yeah, the effects in the film are horrible. I cannot believe that this film cost $65 million. No, you gotta be pulling my leg, Amazon. There's no fucking way. What did they spend that budget on? There's no fucking way that this cost 65 million. I have a better time believing that Food Fight cost 65 million. As bad as that film was, that film at least had a little bit of an excuse for being in development hell for like 10 goddamn years. Like, this movie wasn't in development hell. The only reason why it's coming out now, yeah, for those who don't know, this was originally shot during the pandemic, and it explains the whole perspective of the film. It's coming out now because apparently Amazon shelved this for like 5 or 6 years and now decided to release it. God only knows why. Like, this film wasn't in development hell. It was shelved. Where did the $65 million go? I would say it might have gone to, like, getting Amazon product placement, but this movie is owned by Amazon. What would they have to pay for that? Probably nothing. I don't know. I don't know how that shit works, but I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck this thing cost $65 million. Like, when the effects in your movie look like something out of Sharknado, you know you done fucked up. Like, the worst part about the film though is like everyone's calling it the worst film ever made, and honestly, it's not even worth that praise. Like, this movie is just so boring. Maybe it's because of the perspective, but I really like couldn't. I mean, like, I really couldn't think of anything really creative or interesting to say about this thing. It's why I'm pausing so much between this, because what can I say about this? It's an alien invasion story all told from the perspective of a computer screen very poorly. Like, this is just like I said, screen likes can work, but not like this. Like, I'm not even against the idea of doing like a found footage style alien invasion movie. I mean, I've never seen Cloverfield. I've seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, and that movie's awesome, but I've never seen the first film. Honestly, like, say whatever you want about Cloverfield. At least that film did its gimmick had its gimmick make a little bit more sense. That film was shot from a camcorder, and well, yes, somebody filming crazy stuff happening during an alien invasion is silly and dumb. Like, it at least makes you feel a little bit more involved with what's going on. Like, that's kind of the whole point of a found footage horror film, to kind of make you feel, like you're really there experiencing all this crazy shit. Like that, like screen likes don't really work. Screen likes don't really work that way though. They, like, I don't know. It's so hard to think of anything to fucking say about this, because multiple people have already said enough, and, like, it's nothing. I don't know, I struggled so much to really think of, I don't know, I just got nothing. Like, I don't know, every time I try to think of, like, something to say about this movie, I always draw a blank. I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't paying attention or something, but, I don't know. Honestly, I really have nothing much to say about this thing. It's garbage. The acting is awful. It's not shot well. It butchers a good filmmaking style that could be used for something so much better. The Amazon product placement is absolutely ridiculous. What else do I have to fucking say? Amazon's War of the Worlds gets an F. This is a failure of a movie. Is it the worst film to be released this year? I don't even think it deserves that kind of praise. Like, this is just so much of a nothing burger film for me. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've only scraped the surface of the worst films to be released this year. So I don't know. I've heard The Electric State is really bad. I've also heard that I've heard Star Trek Section 31 pissed a lot of people off. I've heard the new Smurfs movie is pretty bad. So I don't know. But I can tell you this. It is going to be interesting to see anything that is worse than this. But yeah, just screw this movie. If you want to watch a film in this style, go watch Host, go watch Searching, go watch Missing. Even on the Unfriended movies are better than this. They have better acting. They have better acting and are far more interesting than this piece of shit. Even if you want to look at this as a so bad it's good film, I can't even say that. I can think of much better so bad it's good films, like something like Manos: The Hands of Fate, or Hobgoblins, or even like Howling 2. Like, those are so bad it's good movies. Fuck, man, even the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man is more entertaining than this. I mean, you'll get some laughs out of how bad and dumb the movie is, but it's mostly just such a bore to me. I don't recommend this movie at all. And but whatever, it's done. Sorry, I'm really sorry if this video isn't the best, guys. I just really can't think of anything different to say about this other than don't let this movie ruin other screen-like films for you. Okay? Just don't. Screw this movie. Next time we'll be looking at a horror reimagining of a classic fairy tale. And while it's said to be ugly, it should at least be more entertaining than this. That's all I got, guys. What did you guys think of Amazon's War of the Worlds? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was only okay? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like what you see here, like, comment, and subscribe. And remember to enable notifications by clicking the bell. Also, one last thing. Thank you all so much for the support and views on my video on weapons. Like, the fact that over 30 people have seen that video, that's the highest view count any of my video reviews have gotten. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you all so much. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Hopefully the next movie will be a lot better than this. See you guys later.